So here's a few insights in our system. First of all, we're not Chun San Wing Chun, we're Ping San. We fight side body, like fighting at an angle. Boxers call it blading. So, give you an example. One of our stances is called a Ping San Ma, side body stance. My opponent's here, my center is facing out there. So let me use this ken as an example. My opponent's here, my center is facing to the upper right hand corner of my imaginary square. When I step forward, it's the same thing, okay? So a lot of people think you can't hit the same target by fighting side body, but I can. I can hit the same wall or same bag here without turning my body. I can still hit you here. I don't have to turn to hit. That's another story. So when we do our Silom Tao, this defines my central line, the borders of my central line. My fingertips are even here, my fingertips are even here, which would mean I could hit the same target. So I use that if I'm in a side neutral stance. How far should I turn? My fingertips are even here, they're even here. That means I can hit you, but I'm still not square. If I turn too far, one arm is longer than the other, which means to hit you with my rear hand, I have to telegraph. And a good fighter, if you move, they're going to react to that movement. Same thing if I'm in a front stance. How far do I turn? If I turn too far, one hand shorter than the other, I can't reach the target. I turn just enough so I'm not square body, okay? So having said that, our entry technique, sometimes I start from a side neutral stance. And where do we do this? In a front stance, you can be subject to a kick, a shot. If I do this, I have a video of a grappler dealing with this. He has to come past this guard to get to this leg so I can move offline and do something. If I'm here, he can kick my leg, right? So that's why we like to start the fight off in a side neutral and then work into a front stance. But that's another story. So let's just get back to this. That entry technique. Now this roof is slanted, so I may fall off balance, but here, see? And I land. So the question was, that guy did the entry and he landed and he got swept. So let me think of an example with a kick. So if I do a front kick, I'm doing it right. Let me do it wrong. If I do a front kick and land and you move there, I'm caught. Gravity dictates where I land. Again, without my hands, I front kick and I drop my leg. So in our Silom Tao form, we start out with a forward Hungert. I know most people do this, and that's what I used to do for 13 years, but I do it differently now. So when I front kick, I do a Hungert. So there's also a Hungert going this way. In our Silom Tao form, we go forward. But in some of our forms, we have a backwards Hungert. So that's the Hungert I use if I'm going to kick. If I'm going to kick, I kick you and I circle. So if I do a front kick and just drop my leg, gravity dictates where I'm going to land. I kick and you've moved here now. And I have to turn and open up my center. But if I kick and you move and I do the circle, I can compensate the distance. So in the entry technique, I circle before I land, okay? Now a lot of people think that we always do this. That's not the case. So if I'm in a front stance or side neutral, see, I step in. See, I may step in. See, I throw the hand out as a distraction. So I'm going to come in, see, I circle just in case. So the leg raise is in case a kick comes. So when I step in, I don't have to do this. I'm prepared for that just in case. Then I can raise my leg up and circle around. And you don't have to do that skip forward. So let's do it from this side. If my opponent stays here, I just step in and pop in. But as I'm going forward, he moves back, then I would do that. And just then I did it wrong. I dropped my leg straight down because I'm focusing on the camera. So here, circle. So in case my opponent moves to the side, I kick, I can compensate that distance and meet him, okay? So I've seen some people, when they do the entry check, they wind up and come back here. So let's look at this. If I do this, I left the line open to get popped. See? This is a big movement. for me to move my whole body. And if you're a skilled fighter, you're going to see me come in. So it's like I do this. Look, your shoe knee's tight. Pop. Okay? So he focuses on this hand, and then I can come in. Okay? Focus. Then I can come in and pop. So that's how we explain that entry technique.